But in January, I believe January 4th, it's beginning January of this year, there's an OIG report that implied indications of fraud on DBQs. And a part of the OIG's recommended steps, because it always says, here's what you can do better, right? One of the steps is to require medical opinion providers like private practices to annotate a referral, right? So if VA Claims Insider referred you to the company that, you know, his spouse works at, whatever, that's neither here or there, then the provider would have to say VA Claims Insider on the DBQ. And I want to get your first, are you tracking that OIG report because it was kind of on the table almost? And two, what are your thoughts on just the implications of fraud from these companies? Because there's something in it for me. If you are 90 and you get 100, I get a payout. So is there a way I can refer you to a company that I know that's going to, you know, make things look worse? And then I'm going to say, hey, don't go to your CMP exam because I know they're going to uncover the truth. Use this instead, right? What are your thoughts on just the OIG report specifically? Because we have to talk facts here.
Yep.
And the OIG report doesn't call anyone out, but it heavily implies fraud on private medical opinions and private DBQs. So I want to hear your thoughts on that.
So yes, couple things with that. One, we know VA is looking at that. They know there's fraud. They're actually using AI to scrub some of the DBQs to find out if there are almost like boilerplate statements made, so that like you and I should not have the same PTSD stressor statement, just say for the name. So they are looking at things like that. They know it exists. It's going to be very difficult when they finally drop the hammer on that, because it wouldn't be the company who's on the hook for that. It would be Clayton. And because your name is on that, they do not take ownership of that. That's why they wanted to require the referral. One of the issues, these companies, we don't know exactly who is working with the veterans. They don't put their name on it. Like our accredited representatives have to put their accreditation number. They are under the VFW's accreditation, us, for example. And so if there's an issue, if there's fraud, we're also on the hook for some of this stuff. Our folks are trained ethically, right? They're trained in privacy. They're trained in HIPAA. They're trained in all these things to make sure that we're not filing fraudulent claims on behalf of the veterans. But if you file a claim with any one of these companies, your name is on the hook. So that's what the referral is meant to kind of get to, so we can begin to understand who's doing this, how many. We're working almost entirely off of like self-referrals, right? Some of the companies say we work with 10,000 veterans, 20,000 veterans, whatever it is. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know, is it only 50,000 veterans or is it 100,000? Is it bigger? So those are problems. But VA has released a couple fraud alerts that flag for veterans DBQ related scams. And you're absolutely right. If you are trying to get an increase, and I know the higher increase you get means more money I get, I'm going to send you to a medical provider, oftentimes who they have financial relationships with, even though they say they don't. It's bullshit. They have financial relationships with medical providers, and it inherently incentivizes more evidence to like juice the claim.